Hi there. Thank you for tuning in. So today, I have some Mary Brown's Chicken. Now, Mary Brown's Chicken is a Canadian franchise that started on the east coast of Newfoundland back in '69, I believe. And it just stayed kind of small until somebody had an idea that they could do bigger and better things with it, so they bought up the franchise and away they went. So anyways, it's expanded quite a bit all across Canada. The first time I heard about Mary Brown's Chicken was about 3 years ago when I was at work. And one of the ladies said that her husband really liked Mary Brown's Chicken. And like I said, never heard of it. So we went and tried it, and it was really good. So, like I said, that was about 3 years ago. Now they have a second location in town, one at the south end, one at the north end. So I got there this morning. Potato wedges. It's supposed to open at 11 o'clock. And they did, but I had to wait about 20 minutes, so they gave me an extra piece of chicken. I wanted a 3-piece, they gave me a 4-piece. But I ordered gravy, and they forgot the gravy. So I got 4 pieces of chicken, potato wedges, pickle chips, a strawberry cream cheese type pie, kind of like an apple pie, sort of. And they gave me the large Dr. Pepper instead of the small one, so all that because I had to wait, which I didn't mind doing. So I'm going to dig into some of this and see how it is. Oh man, that's good. It's still hot. Wow. That's some big, plump, juicy pieces of chicken with a beautiful coating on it. I got some honey dill dipping sauce. Try my pickle chips in there. I think I might move this box over here. I'll just eat right here. It might be easier. Got a biscuit. I was hoping to dip that in some gravy. Buttermilk biscuits. So there's 2 locations. One is at the south and one's at the north. And I think they're about the same distance apart. It took me about 13 minutes to drive there and 13 minutes back. As soon as I got this is still hot, not warm, but hot. As soon as I got it, I put it in my reusable shopping bags and wrapped it up like that so it stayed really hot. That's good chicken. I've done 4 chicken videos. These chicken twice, Popeyes, and KFC. And sadly, the one that didn't impress me was KFC. It was kind of, it was dry, you know. And that's kind of sad when you consider that KFC was the reigning champ for so many years. I mean, they never invented chicken, but they sure perfected it. So, today I'm going to talk about 10 of my favorite movies. I did a video like that before, but I can do another one. Of my favorite movies. Take 2. So the first one is I think it came out around 97, I think, I'm not sure. It's called LA Confidential. I think it takes place in the 50s, I think, if I remember correctly. Russell Crowe, Guy Pearce, I think Kevin Spacey, James Cromwell, and I think Kim Basinger's in that movie too. I think Russell Crowe was pretty much unheard of back then. But very good movie. Basically about police corruption, that sort of thing. Good cop, bad cop. James Cromwell. His career really took off later in life. If you remember a show called All in the Family, back in the 70s, he played Stretch Cunningham on that show, Archie's friend. That's good chicken. That's beautiful chicken. But LA Confidential is a very good movie. I don't want to say too much. I want to give it away. solid cast, good acting. Very interesting. Now another movie that came out about 10 years later was a movie called No Country for Old Men. Now, we used to have movie nights all the time, and then my marriage split up. I would still have movie nights with my kids. But this one night only my son could make it over, so just him and I watched No Country for Old Men. It was really good. Josh Brolin. And I was never much of a fan of Tommy Lee Jones, but Tommy Lee Jones, I like him in this movie. He really suits it. And an actor I'd never heard of before. Hope I pronounce his name right. Javier Bardem. His character was really something, let me tell you. And once again, without giving too much away, Josh Brolin happens to witness some drug gang activity, which ends in a lot of deaths. I think there's one survivor, but I think he dies, but he finds this $2 million among all these bodies, and of course he takes it. And, the drug cartel sends somebody to get that money back. And that's Javier Bardem. He plays the character of the person who's hired to get that money back. And he's cold and ruthless, believe me. Wow. A terrible haircut. But he plays that character to a T, let me tell you. Boy, he's good. That's a movie that's well worth seeing. Well worth it. Now another movie. And these movies are not in any particular order. These are just some of my favorite movies over the years. The Talented Mr. Ripley. That's an excellent movie. Do you like my t-shirt? See? Cool, huh? The Talented Mr. Ripley. Matt Damon, Jude Law, Philip Seymour Hoffman, outro. Excellent movie. Takes place in the 50s in Italy. It's so well done. Starts off kind of slow, but really picks up. The cast is stellar. Excellent, superb acting. Great story. Very realistic. I love that movie. Wow. I got 3 huge pieces and 1 drumstick. Man. A lot of chicken. Yeah, The Talented Mr. Ripley is just a fascinating movie. Like I said, it starts off a bit slow, some character building at the beginning, but wow. When it gets going, it's suspenseful. And I'm very sad for Philip Seymour Hoffman. What a loss. He was so talented. Now another movie. Platoon. Came out around 86, I think, thereabouts. Willem Dafoe, Tom Berenger, and Charlie Sheen. Oliver Stone movie. It was quite controversial at the time. Very well done movie. I'm not real big on war movies, but that one was pretty interesting. Definitely different. Tom Berenger's his role, very intense, very intense. I think Johnny Depp has a small part. Now another movie. Everybody loves this one. Back to the Future. Chicken bone. That's such a good movie. It's funny as heck. A lot of adventure, a lot of laughs, a lot of suspense. Christopher Lloyd is just wonderful. The thing about that trilogy, I love the first movie. I didn't care for the one where they actually went into the future, but the one where they go back to the Western days. I love that. Just hilarious. Really funny. Yeah. Takes place in 55. Now, another movie. I saw this years ago. I want to say pretty much all these movies I'm talking about, I think I saw them all on video, not at the movie theater. Not that really makes that much difference. But the next movie is Driving Miss Daisy. Not sure what made me rent in the first place, but I was glad I did. That's the first time that I remember ever seeing Morgan Freeman. And Morgan Freeman has become one of my favorite actors. He just seems like such a hard-working artist. I love his voice. There's something about Morgan Freeman, he's so trustworthy, I probably believe anything he said. Jessica Tandy is very good. Dan Aykroyd's in that movie too. I just love that movie. It's very realistic for a time, a timepiece movie. It's I love how the way it moves forward in time towards the end there. I thought Morgan Freeman's acting was just superb in that movie. Excuse me. Wow. Dr. Pepper's Murder. I got one piece of chicken left. I'm going to save it. Driving Miss Daisy. I just love that movie. So that brings me to Pulp Fiction. That movie I did see at the movie theater. My ex and I. In December, a couple of weeks before Christmas, we'd drive down to Victoria and stay a couple nights in a hotel, and we'd get our parents to look after the kids. And it's the only time ever in a whole year that my ex and I would get away for 2 nights without the kids. I'd take them camping, which I loved, and that would give my ex a break. Or she'd go to Vancouver and visit a friend, and the rule was you had to take at least one kid with you. But for us to be all alone, just by ourselves with no kids, once a year for 2 nights, that was nice. I would always go see a movie, go out to dinner, and eat all our meals at restaurants. It was nice. So we saw Pulp Fiction. I think that movie really changed John Travolta's career. Kind of like a comeback movie. Because I remember him as Vinnie Barbarino in Welcome Back, Kotter, the TV show that was on when I was in high school. And of course he did Saturday Night Fever, became a huge star. But then he became kind of typecast. He did movies like Urban Cowboy, and I think he did Grease or whatever, but a lot of times people go, oh, John Travolta. But when he did Pulp Fiction, which is kind of a comeback movie, he suddenly became like the coolest guy on the planet. He was so good in that movie. And Samuel L. Jackson, that's the first movie that I ever knowingly saw Samuel L. Jackson. Very good. Typical Quentin Tarantino movie. You know, a lot of violence and a lot of blood and stuff like that, you know. You know, his trademark. I think Eric Stoltz has a small part in that movie. He's really good. I think he's a drug dealer or something, if I remember correctly, but he's very good. But I really enjoyed that movie. I thought it was great. I think that might be the same coating as the chicken. But yeah, I really enjoyed Pulp Fiction. I bought the soundtrack album. Urge Overkill, I think the version of Girl, You'll Be a Woman Soon, the old Neil Diamond hit. Now, the next movie, The Ten Commandments, Cecil B. DeMille, 1956. That movie comes on at Easter, usually, around then. First time I saw it was at a movie theater in the 70s. I was about 16, going on 17. This friend of mine, him and I went to see a movie that he was old enough to get in. He was 18, but I wasn't. They wouldn't let me in because it was adult content, so they wouldn't let me in. So we went and saw Ten Commandments. It's a long movie. But typical Cecil B. DeMille, 14,000 extras, you know, huge sets, you know, costumes, you know, no CGI back in those days. Very good movie. The color and costumes are amazing. Charlton Heston, Yul Brynner, John Derek. Yvonne DiCarlo, she used to play Lily on the Munsters. Listen to that movie. Andrew G. Robinson. Very good movie. Now, another movie. I saw this years ago at a movie theater. Deliverance. That movie's a classic. It's got Burt Reynolds, Ed Beatty. Classic movie. The soundtrack was really good. The banjo playing. Just loved that. So good. Very bizarre movie. I don't want to give too much away, like I said. Acting's very good. They use a lot of the locals who had roles like as the mountain men, that kind of thing. But that movie is a classic. Now my 10th and final movie. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Jack Nicholson. You know that movie, when I first saw it, I thought that a lot of the extras were real. They were just so convincing. You know, you see Danny DeVito in that movie, Christopher Lloyd, you know. But Louise Fletcher plays the head nurse, Nurse Ratched. Mildred Ratched, boy, she's something, wow. Everybody plays their roles right to a hilt. Excuse me. My apologies. But that movie is so good. Just riveting, mesmerizing. You know, I was talking to one of my coworkers a few years ago, and we were talking about movies, and she said they were going to rent some movies, and two of the movies, one was Deliverance, and one was One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And I said, "You haven't seen those?" She goes, "No." I said, "Oh my goodness, those movies are classics. They're like must-see movies." I got a few wedges left, not too many. Strawberry cream cheese. Yeah, I love classic movies. There was an episode of Taxi where they referenced the Cuckoo's Nest movie. And I think that's obviously because Christopher Lloyd and Danny DeVito were in that movie. I think the book was originally written by Ken Kesey back in the early 60s, I think. Pastry is very good. The filling is very rich. I have a viewer who always comments that I shouldn't be drinking soda pop, and I agree. But that person always give me a hard time about drinking soda pop, and I totally agree with them. But or with, I'm not sure it's a man or a woman, but I agree with that person. But I think it's a guy. But you know, to be honest, I don't drink soda pop all the time. I don't eat like this all the time. I do this for videos. I actually eat quite healthy. Well, I want to look at my cue cards, make sure I didn't leave any movies out. That was 10 movies, right? Yeah, I got 10. Got some written down there. Got them all right here. I used to put them in front of me. Tape them onto a tripod, but I've got the table raised up, so I have to go like this. So anyway, we've had a very rainy April, but starting next week, it's supposed to get really, really hot. So I'm looking forward to that. T-shirts, shorts, and sandals. So on that note, my friends, I'm going to leave you. Thank you for tuning in. I love hearing from you. You people are all amazing, and I can't thank you enough for the support and the patience and everything else. I know sometimes my videos are a bit frustrating with some of the glitches, but I just can't thank you enough for supporting me and hanging in there. Anyways, you take care, my friends. I hope you're in your happy place and surrounded by love, because you deserve